2013 Steelers draft is in the books. Guy Junker, Ken Laird. 9 new draft picks, 15, soon to be 16 undrafted players brought in, Guy Junker. A lot of new faces. First impressions.
I can't wait till Mike Golick comes in to evaluate his son at St. Vincent. That should be a circus.
That should be great. They took that Notre Dame alum, but they did not take Tyler Eifert in round 1. I know some people were wondering maybe they would have gone the tight end over the linebacker, but we talked a lot of Jarvis Jones last week. Maybe we should focus on some of the other picks. The Le'Veon Bell pick in round 2, while not a shock, they clearly had a need there, Guy. It strikes me as maybe, of all the picks, the one they reached for a need. They had Arthur Brown, the linebacker from Kansas State, available. They passed on him. If he's James Ferrier or Ray Lewis someday and he's playing in a Ravens jersey, that pick could come back and sting you.
Yeah, they said they stuck to their guns and took the best available athlete. They did not draft by position as they always do. I don't quite believe that. And they said that it just so happened that a lot of the guys that they thought was the best available athlete filled a need. Well, when you're an 8-8 football team and you lose guys like James Harrison and Mike Wallace in the offseason, you got needs everywhere. So I'm glad they didn't take Eifert. I wasn't big on that pick before the draft because to me, it's something that's what I describe it as Friday. It's a cherry on top of the sundae.
Yep.
Give me the ice cream first.
Yep.
And I didn't like the quarterback pick. Other than that, I mean, you can look at this as they took a guy in the first round that wasn't medically cleared at one place. They took a defensive back who is 5'9", that a lot of people said that he's too short to play in the league and has had a history of concussion issues. They took another guy at the end of the draft that played more basketball than he did football. If you wanted to be a jag-off and just rip everything that they did. So, I mean, there are some issues there.
And they're cutting Charlie Batch loose. How dare they, without even a farewell press conference. What about the quarterback?
He's only got a 2-year gap before he gets his ARP card, so he'll be all right.
I like the Landry Jones
Charlie.
pick.
I already got mine.
But I know we talked about this last week. I thought 4th round is right where they should draft one. Tell me why you don't like Landry Jones.
It has nothing to do with him. I don't think they needed to take a quarterback, period, Ken. They have too many other needs this year. And where they took him, if you are taking somebody, which they said they're not, and I don't believe they are, that is going to be the heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger, then use a pick high in the draft. Take a Geno Smith, or even at that point, take Nassib, a guy that most people felt was better. I'm not sure they even took the best quarterback at the time. But regardless of that, I just don't like taking – if you're going to take a quarterback just to give you another arm to youthen up the position, if you will, you've already done that with Gradkowski. I just think this is a year where they have way too many other needs that they could have said that's a valuable pick in the 4th round. I would have taken someone else. I said before the draft, I said as soon as Kevin Colbert had a week ago today, I could tell they were going to take a quarterback just by his pre-draft press conference and how enamored he was of the group of quarterbacks. And I just don't like using a 4th-round pick for a guy that probably will not see the field one play this year. And if he does, they're in big trouble already.
Yeah, you're right. He's a 2-year project. I mean, you want to build him up so he's a good backup. So when, in 2 years, he comes in and gives you a chance to win for a pinch, couple of games here or there. If he's Joe Flacco on your bench as a backup, to me, he's got some value. But you're right for this year. But that's one thing. It's pretty clear they were kind of walking the line of we have so many needs right now. We're 8-8. We lost all this talent. We need some guys to play in year one. They won't admit that, but they do, and that's Le'Veon Bell, who's going to come in and start. Maybe Jones will be forced to play well before they want him to. But the quarterback, they go back to, quote, a sort of a long-term project. So a little mixed message there. Otherwise, I thought, the wide receiver in round 3, some good value there. Maybe he is Mike Wallace. It's got a chance to be a decent draft.
Yeah, I think Marcus Wheaton may be my favorite pick of the group, Ken. A guy that... very productive in college, tons of numbers, probably more of an Antonio Brown type receiver than he had a 4.55 40.
He said he didn't run well.
He didn't run well. I mean, I think
track guy.
He's faster than that. Is he Mike Wallace? No, but I think he can be a deep threat. But I think that value for value where the pick came, I think that was probably my favorite pick.
Yeah, it was a good one. And the safety, Shamarko Thomas, has a chance to be a good physical thumper back there. So we'll see. And, of course, the Steelers with a bunch of undrafted players, and they all got to come into minicamp, get new stalls, new jerseys, and fit in with the group. all seemingly good character guys, and a lot of them big school players, other than the Samford defensive end.
Yeah, rookie orientation coming up this weekend, and they all do, and they seem to emphasize that. We talked about that last Monday, too. They've been burned in recent years with a few guys, and you never know for sure what you're getting. But the college coaches that we've had on have all praised the guys that they did take, so I think it was more of an issue than they were willing to let on, because if they let on it was more of an issue, they were admitting that they made mistakes in the past and they didn't want to do that. But even the fact that they tried to interview family members or see these guys with their parents when possible at the combines and things like that tells you that was a little more of a pressing issue this time around than it has been.
Guy Junker, Ken Laird, TribLive.com, two Mr. Irrelevants here. The 2013 Steelers draft, they're hoping those guys are not.